Both of these bucks are about the same size. I decide to take the one that presents the first broadside shot. I won't lie, my nerves are getting the best of me.
If you can hit him there, take him.
In 3.
You know, for the first time ever, I've drawn an antelope tag in Utah. I've had a few hunts in Wyoming, but never here in my home state. Hoping to get the biggest buck possible, so I've started scouting. It's early August, and with the help of my dad and some of my buddies who have more experience with antelope than I do, hoping to bag a big one. I remember growing up, that was some of the first hunting I ever did.
Well, it was because the deer hunting at that time was not very good.
Yeah.
And so I think my brother-in-law at that time, Maver Gatehouse, he got me started. And from then on, I've decided that was a good thing to do. And I used to go with my buddies, but my buddies didn't want to let me take my sons. So I said, heck with those guys, and I started taking my 2 sons.
Yeah, we shot a lot of antelope.
Yes, we did.
Some of my fondest memories outdoors with my dad is hunting pronghorn in Wyoming. We never came home with giant bucks, but we did fill the freezer.
Yes, we did, and it's very tasty meat. It's a dark meat. A lot of people think it's extra strong, but I kind of like strong meat, so I enjoy it.
This year, I drew the cash-rich antelope buck tag at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo. According to locals, this used to be a great unit, but this year they haven't seen any big bucks. But my dad and I are sure seeing a lot of pronghorn. I'm using my Vortex 85 HD spotting scope, and then I think I've shown you this too, the adapter from Scope Cam adapter that I got from the Tines Up boys. What you do is you're able to attach your camera right there to the spotting scope and get some great video. Here, let me show you some of the video of some of the bucks that we've seen.
Right here, I've seen many more bucks in one group than I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing, and they were big ones. So I was quite impressed.
Well, as you can see, some of those bucks are dang nice. I'm just not sure which one's the best, which one's going to be the one I'm going to want to hunt come September. So I'm going to go to my buddy Pepper Murray, who I've been guiding elk hunters with for about 5 years now. He's guided numerous antelope hunters, and I think has taken at least 5 book bucks. He'll know a lot better than I will.
I've killed about 8 book bucks and guided several others.
Pepper Murray is one of the best antelope hunters and guides that I know. Take a look at this monster 87-inch buck he took this year in Utah. If anyone was going to give me some sound advice, it's going to be Pepper.
In my 14th year of antelope hunting, I would qualify, I think, as an antelope addict. It's kind of my passion because it's the most difficult animal that I hunt to judge. You know, the size of a buck. Elk, a lot of people can do that. Deer, a lot of people do that. Antelope, it's really, really difficult to do to judge what quality of animal you're looking at. I love it because you can hunt them all day long, and they just are funner than heck. The easiest way to judge an animal, a buck, is with the rule you think about they're the fastest animal in North America, miles per hour. Mass, so M is mass, P is prong length, H is height. So mass is the most important, prong length is the second most important, height is the third most important. You don't get any credit for width on an antelope. It can be a deduction if it's too wide. If the width is wider than the height of the horn, then you get a deduction on the net score. The rules of sixes, if you have 6 inches of mass, 6-inch prong, 16-inch tall, you're going to have an 80-inch buck. So that's kind of a baseline to look for in trying to judge what 6 inches is, what for circumference, what prong length is, and what a 16-inch horn is height-wise. It's a great unit.
Yeah. Well, don't make my expectations too high.
They've harvested some great bucks in the last 3 or 4 years over there that I've heard about, all in the mid-80 range, which is a huge antelope for northern Utah, and I think you should be losing some sleep at night at this point, waiting for that day to come. So, but I think you're doing your homework properly and trying to educate yourself, and I think you should have a great hunt.
All right, Craig, so we're set up here. How far is that?
That target is 549 yards.
My friend Craig Thomason works for Gunworks, a rifle company that specializes in teaching accurate long-range shooting. I do most of my hunting with a bow or muzzleloader and only feel comfortable out to about 300 yards with a rifle. Craig says he's going to show me that with their system, I can shoot accurately up to 5, even 700 yards.
What we've got here is a 6XC. It shoots just a little tiny fast bullet, just a little 115 grain. It's a boat tail, hollow point design, and really high ballistic coefficient, so it cuts through the air nice. Really, really accurate. And even a guy like you should be able to hit an antelope at 400 or 500 yards with this simple system.
All right, let's practice.
The target is this steel dong. Dial up the yardage, adjust for the wind, and let her fly.
All right, here we go.
All right. Did you see how it tipped over forward? That means you hit it.
Yeah, nice.
550 was a breeze. I even hit a target at 980 yards. This gunwork system is pretty impressive.
All right, well, we've got the gun, we've got the orange. We're just waiting for my buddy Randy now to show up. Sun's coming up. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. See if we can find a goat. You know, and even though this gun can shoot, as I just showed you, 980 yards, the goal today is to get as close as possible. I really like to make a 300-400 yard shot. It's kind of like a bow, you know, even though you can shoot 90, maybe even 100 yards at the target. A little different when you're shooting at an animal. And there's my buddy Randy.
In the 3 scouting trips I took on the unit, I never really found a giant. I did see some really nice bucks and quite a few of them. This wide buck is on my short list. Randy and I find him right off the bat at 200 yards, but I decided to keep looking and let him go.
I think I had 5 points.
DWR biologist Scott McFarland also drew the tag, brought his family out, and says with the amount of public land on this unit, it's a good tag to have.
We've had a population boom up here, and so they're issuing additional permits, and this is a very good unit. Northern Utah has been doing really well for antelope.
So we've looked at probably 30, 40 bucks this morning, and had a little cattle drive over here, had to help some of the farmers get their cattle across the road, and kind of decided that this wide buck, this one here that I've got video of, is not a bad buck. I mean, we've only got today to hunt, so we've got to get something down, and we're gonna go see if we can find him, take another look at him. If he's good enough, we're gonna take him, but now we got to find him again.
And wouldn't you know it, we can't relocate the wide buck. We do get close to this buck, it's 70 yards in fact, but again, I pass. It's late in the day, and our time is running out.
Okay, so we found a good goat. It's not the wide goat we probably should have shot this morning, but he's a good representative. We've got one day. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the tag with him. He's about 350 yards is all, so not bad. I'm just gonna slide up this ridge. Nice, easy shot, get the rifle on the ground with my shoulder on the ground. Should be a good shot, so there's 3 of them.
Not a great shot, is it?
Not right now, no.
Both of these bucks are about the same size. I decide to take the one that presents the first broadside shot. I won't lie, my nerves are getting the best of me.
If you can hit him there, take him.
In 3. You're kidding me. Did I hit him? No. Thought I missed.
Great antelope.
Oh, he'll be nice. Nice buck. Boy, that gun sure makes it easy. Piece of cake shot with the old gum works. If you can see me right now, I'm actually shaking a little bit. So when I quit shaking, I'll stop hunting. You know, the pronghorn we have down is a nice representative, but a lot of people don't like to eat pronghorn meat, and sometimes that depends on how you take care of the meat in the field. So tonight, Mort and I are going to show you how to quarter this animal, how to get it on ice, and how to do it without gutting it. So first off, get the animal into the shade like we've done here, and now we're going to take a cut right down the back of the buck, right from just below his antlers all the way to about his mid-body section, and then we'll take a cut down to his belly, and then we'll go ahead and start caping him.
The goal is to get the meat away from the hot visceral insides as soon as possible. You start your first caping cut right at the atlas joint, just below the horns between the ears. Always cut with the hair to avoid dulling your knife, and this will also dislodge less hair from the cape.
So as you're caping this out too, try and get some of the meat off the hide, so your taxidermist doesn't have a lot of meat hanging on it. It'll make him a lot happier. So now we've got this side of his cape off. We're just going to go ahead and pull this front shoulder off. Really simple, just lift the leg up. If you have an elk, there's the shot right there. You have someone usually pulling that for you. And that left shoulder, you'd be surprised at how little holds that on. And there you go, front shoulder off. A little bit of bloodshot, but we're going to take it anyway because there's still some good meat there. Okay, so we're going to immediately get that quarter in a bag. We've got ice here that we brought, and one down, 3 to go.
Your caping job on the hindquarter doesn't need to be as precise.
From talking to conservation officers, this is something a lot of people forget. Remember, you have to leave evidence of sex on the largest portion of meat of the animal. So in this case, we're going to put it on the hindquarter right here. Just cut a piece off and leave it attached to that hindquarter.
Remove the hindquarter by finding the ball and socket joint near the pelvis. Cut around the joint and get the quarter in a bag and on ice. Now you can remove the back straps, neck meat, and anything else that looks edible remaining on the ribs and neck area. Flip the animal over and repeat the process on the other side.
Okay, so a lot of people want to know how you get the loin. Basically, you come to the very last part of the ribs end right here. The loin's going to be right in this section inside. So we're going to just take a cut underneath. And there it is right there.
This is usually the hardest part, finding the fillet and not puncturing the entrails. Take your time, you don't want to spoil the meat. Finally, to get your hide and head off the carcass, find that atlas joint again between the ears and cut down through the neck.
Well, a lot of people don't like to eat antelope because traditionally they treat them like a deer or an elk, where they leave the hide on for a day or hang them, you know, thinking they're going to tenderize the meat or whatever they think. But if you can get the hide off an antelope, get them cooled off real fast. I carry big coolers in my truck with ice, and so I cape and quarter, get the quarters in the ice right away, and my kids will eat antelope over elk any day.
And one last thing, don't forget, if you draw a limited entry tag, a once-in-a-lifetime tag, or a CWU tag, you have to take these lower 2 teeth of your animal and submit it back to the Division of Wildlife Resources. If you don't do that, they're going to go ahead and charge you $50, or they won't even allow you to put in for next year's draw.